What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with the Pig Dogs Morning Show, man, on this money-making Saturday. Y'all know what it is, man. We got a million college hoops games. I think it's like 136 total, though, actually. But it's a million when you breaking them all down over the night and morning action. And we got just 5 NBA today. And we have the NHL returns, skating on ice. So talk a little bit about that as well. Got Jovan and Brad with me today. Brad, what's happening? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I mean, loaded slate. Happy that the NHL's back as well. Just some more games to pick from. We were talking before the show. We got like 3-4 weeks left of these just crazy loaded slates when it comes to just a volume perspective. So it's a lot of work for us, but I'm definitely just appreciative of it week after week because I know we're going to miss it. But yeah, pick of the day was the team from Dallas. Shout out them boys. I know you don't like to hear that, but those boys just keep covering.
They do. So, I leaned to them yesterday on the jam session. I said, you should bet them today. Personally, I can't get there because it's fuck them, but they are the play today. I said that on the drive-through and the morning show and the jam session yesterday. So shout out the team from Dallas from a money-making perspective. Since Anthony Davis has gone down, they're now 7-0.
Yep.
ATS. So they have them.
Yeah, Kyrie's been going off. Just him himself could beat that Pelicans team. Zion tried his best, but just not enough firepower.
Yep. Fuck that team from Dallas. Jovan, man, money making Saturday. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm heavily invested today. Heavily invested. So, need this one to be a good one. Been on a little slide, man. I got to get the stench off. So yeah, I think today's the day to do it because I do like the way this sets up going into the conference tournaments. This is maybe the second to last weekend or third to last weekend before conference tournaments come into play. So yeah, now's the time.
My bad, but yes, now is the time, man. College hoops. Man, got a lot of action to talk about today. And then the NBA finna heat up, man. It's finna heat up. We finna see who's pretending and who's actually trying to go do the damn thing, which is win a championship. So I'm interested to break it down with the fellas today. For me yesterday, man, I was 3-3. I dropped my play of the day in the NBA in disgusting fashion. Orlando, man, y'all had no business losing that basketball game. They made me mad. Outside of that, overall, I would say it was a decent day. Cash college hoops play with Villanova. Thunder Buddies did what they needed to do. So, it would have been a great day had Orlando won the game. They did cover, but they didn't win. They had no business losing. It is what it was. Will be what it be. On to today, man. Let's get some new money. Man. I also need that money from yesterday back.
Let's do it. Fall for the Marquette trap, though.
You fell for it?
Yeah, I fell for it. I couldn't help it. It was looking so good. I had to click the button.
Yeah, I felt like I don't love them sharp chaser plays often, but I like that sharp chaser play yesterday. It just set up well.
Yeah.
For Villanova at home, so I hopped on that one. Marquette, man, whenever you need them this season, they just ain't do it. They just don't do it. So I've been there with them, so that's why I kind of was not rocking with them yesterday. And the line was funky. Some funky lines today in college hoops, man. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts. I'm interested to hear them. Let's start, man. First game on the board is a monster one. Texas A&M, 1.5-point home favorites over the Vols of Tennessee. We got Wisconsin laying 8.5 on Oregon. Louisville laying 13.5 on Florida State. Cincinnati TCU. UMBC NJIT. Drexel Charleston. VMI Furman. Richmond St. Joseph's. West Virginia Texas Tech. Mississippi State Oklahoma. Marshall App State. Central Michigan, Western Mich. We'll stop right there because there's some good games in that slide. Then we'll do that next slide, which is together. So not the hugest first slot, but it's got some meat on the bone to start the day. Brad?
Yeah. Let's start it off. I'm going to fade FSU. I'm going to take Louisville. We saw Louisville blow out FSU earlier this season at Florida State. I think they do it again at home. I just think Louisville's on a whole nother level right now. So lay the big number there. I'm on Wisconsin. Wisconsin, one of the hottest teams in college basketball. I'm starting to think this team's legit. I'm a little worried, though, if you're a Wisconsin fan, you might be getting a little bit too hot too early. But this Wisconsin team is really solid. Oregon has been shaky this season. Yeah, they've bounced back a little, but they went on a 6-game stretch where they couldn't catch a win, couldn't catch a cover. I think Wisconsin gets a double-digit win at home there. I'm going to take TCU plus 7.5. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and in this type of matchup, I'd rather have those 7 points in my back pocket. We all know Cincinnati has been frauds all season long. They've been terrible from a cover perspective. Don't get me wrong, TCU hasn't been good for a cover perspective as well, but I think they're coming off a win against Texas Tech, I believe, in their last game. So team might be finding some rhythm right there. And then let's see. That'll do it.
There we go. Javon, talk to me. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm on the Seminoles. It's just a situation where I don't want to lay that many points with Louisville. Not to say that they can't get it done in a big way, but Florida State has been feisty enough to cover this spread. So I will lean towards them just to lean. I'm also on VMI. VMI overall, they've been a hell of a against the spread team, 16-7-1 against the spread, 9-4-1 on the road against the spread. Dealing with a Furman team who, they've had their ups and downs. Overall, they are 20-8 straight up. But at home, as far as what they've done against the spread wise, they're middle of the road, 5-6. So, I think VMI should be able to cover this one. So look down the list. Looking at this Tennessee and Texas A&M game, I'm looking at the total in this one, and you would say these two teams, especially with the way these two teams play defense, you're looking at an under game, but I think somehow, some way, this is gonna get up and over the total. It's at 130. I know that both teams have it in them to not clear the 60 mark, for the winner, but I think it's going to be a situation where one team's going to be chasing points and the foul game is going to be employed within, the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game. So I think that's going to be the, be the cause of this one going over the total. So I'll take the over.
I'm taking Tennessee. I'm just taking the better team. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking the better team at plus money. I think Texas A&M is one of the sharp chaser plays of the day, and I don't want to be on it. So I'm on Tennessee at plus money. They're the better team. And if Tennessee comes out shooting like we know they can, this thing could get ugly. So maybe look at an extended with the Vols. And I can see it getting over if Tennessee come out shooting the way I think they can as well. This one didn't make my premium area, but the more I sit here and just look at it, I'm finna put some money on it. So I'm on Tennessee in that one. Let's get it done. I'm going to also lean towards Wisconsin. I think they're just head and shoulders the better basketball team. Like Brad said, Oregon, every time you think they finna do it, they never do. Their record looks good, 19-8, but they're not nearly as good as what their record indicates. They beat up on a lot of bad teams earlier in the season to kind of fluff it. Wisconsin is head and shoulders the better basketball team. I think they smash them. Y'all know how I feel about Texas Tech, man. I think they dominate West Virginia at home. Texas Tech really coming on, man. Really coming on. And at home in Lubbock is where we love betting them. Mississippi State, they have one huge win under their belt, really. That's it. And so laying points with them on the road, I don't trust them. I know Oklahoma has been bad, but I also wouldn't shock the hell out of me if Oklahoma won this game outright and stole one. Mississippi State's been that style team. I think Mississippi State's been a beneficiary of kind of being in the SEC, getting some love. I know Oklahoma's been down, but I got a gut feeling about them boys today. So That's what I like in this first slide of college hoops. Let's keep it rolling, man. We got Iowa State out on the road versus Houston. 5 versus 8. Houston laying 12.5 in that one. We got Longwood versus UNC Cashville. High Point versus Gardner Webb. UC Upstate versus Charleston Southern. Tulsa versus Rice. Wake Forest, NC State. Georgia Tech, Boston College. Davidson, Fordham. Penn State, Minnesota. Fairleigh Dickinson, STFU. Franz and Mo Wagner versus Chicago State. Maine versus Binghamton. UNC Wilmington versus Hampton. Townsend versus Campbell. Stony Brook versus NCAAM. North Dakota State versus North Dakota. UNC Greensboro Mercer. East Texas State versus Wofford. The Citadel, a.k.a. the Citadel versus Chattanooga. Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech. FIU, Give Me Liberty versus Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death. Pitt versus Notre Dame. Rhode Island, St. Louis. Buffalo, Ball State. UIC versus Evansville. Fresno State versus Air Force. West Carolina versus Samford. Sam Houston versus Middle Tennessee. Ole Miss versus Vanderbilt. And East Illinois versus Morehead State. So we stopped right before 4 Eastern. Jovan, how you feeling, my man?
Yeah, we'll start off with SC Upstate, South Carolina Upstate. It's, I don't know, the thing about USC Upstate is that they lose a lot. They're just calling what it is, but they do hang in tough with the with their competition, and I think they'll hang in tough with Charleston Southern in this one. So I think it's just too many points as far as I'm concerned. I think that they'll cover this one. I'm on Wake Forest. It's more of a fade of North Carolina State. I have no confidence in them to get the job done as home dogs, and I like my home dogs, especially on the Saturday. So I think that Wake Forest goes there and gets it done by margin. I'm on Notre Dame. It's a short line. They're catching 1.5. I think they get the job done outright. It's just one of those things where this Pitt team, they really don't do it for me. I've been fading Pitt a lot in ACC play and been coming up roses. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm also on, let's see, I'm also on Fordham. I'm looking at the line and I just don't like what I'm seeing. I think if they thought that Davidson was gonna be do anything special today, that this line would be at least 2 points higher than what it actually is. It's at plus 2.5 for Fordham. Something stinks, so I'm on them to get the job done, take the points, but I played on the money line as well. I'm also on Rhode Island URI. It's just a situation where this St. Louis team, they had some promise, going into the season, but a couple things happened. They had some injuries, and then when the guys did come back, they just couldn't get it together. With all the NILs, the new coach coming into play from Indiana State, it just didn't gel this for them this season. They're 1-4 straight up, and against the spread in their last 5. So I just don't like that situation. Playing a comparative level team in the Rams. So give me the Rams with the points.
Fair enough. Let's see. Not my favorite slot today, but I will give you guys my thoughts. I agree with Jovan on Wake Forest. NC State is just hot garbage. Let's not even overcomplicate that. So this is not the NC State from last year. That team is long gone, and we're just going to continue to fade them. I like Vandy against Ole Miss. Vandy's a sneaky little team. Sneaky little under the radar money making machine. And I think today's the day. They're favored in this game for a reason. I'm just taking money line. I'll pay up a little bit for it. Give me Vandy money line. Ole Miss. Oh, I kind of got Ole Miss in that same bucket. I got who was I talking about earlier?
Mississippi State.
Yeah. Yep. Ole Miss in that same bucket with them, where it's just like pretenders, I think is what they are. Give me Vandy in that one. Vandy having a hell of a year. I think it continues. Let's see. Anything else in this slot for me? The Iowa State boys, you know I'm there. I ain't gonna lie. Plus 600. 100. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it consistent for me is what I'm doing. Y'all have heard me many times this season say, I think Iowa State can do the damn thing. Can do the whole damn thing. I've said that. I know they've been not that great recently. You know, they've had some shakeups and mishaps. And I also understand how dominant goddamn Houston is at home. I understand that, man. I don't like fading Houston in Houston often. I really don't. But there's a path situation in Avenue here where Iowa State does come in here and play really well. If Iowa State throws their best punch, they can win this game. And I think they're the better team. So if they throw their best punch, they can win this game. Plus 600, man, on a Saturday. Sign me up. That's kind of how I'm attacking that game, man. I understand why Houston's 12.5-point favorites, because there's also a scenario where Houston comes in here and blitzes them. That could very well happen. But if Iowa State throws their best punch, man, I think they can win the game outright. I really do. So plus 600 is kind of too good for me to pass up on a team that I'm as high on as Iowa State. That's how I'm feeling in that one. Brett?
Yeah, Houston, Iowa State. I'm on the same page. I'm going to take Iowa State. The line says take Houston. The line says this is going to be a beatdown, but it's one of those pay to find out games. You're going to give me 12, 13 points with Iowa State. In my opinion, still one of the best teams in the country, even after their little mishaps throughout the season. I'll take a shot with it. I'm on the same thing. Just fade NC State until we can't anymore. You're just going to make money that way. It's as simple as that. 8-18 ATS this season. Wake Forest, much better team all around, even on the road. They'll win and cover this one. I think they already beat them by 18 points earlier this season. Penn State, Minnesota. I've been fading Minnesota all season long, but they're slowly playing some better basketball as the season goes on. Penn State, they were on a crazy losing streak. They just picked up a win in their last game against Nebraska. I think they come right back down to earth and lose to Minnesota. Penn State 1-7 straight up on the road this season. I'll lay the 3 with the Golden Gophers there. Let's see. I feel like there's another one I like on here. I like Samford laying the 16. It's a big number, but it's a big number for a reason. Western Carolina is one of the worst teams in the country. 8-18 straight up, 1-12 straight up on the road. I think Samford puts a beat down on them. And then I'm on Vandy as well. I think these teams are very even. I think these are 2 middle-tier SEC teams. When you look at the numbers, they're very even as well. So in that type of game, I'd rather just roll with the home team there. So give me Vandy.
The Commodores. Keep it rolling, man. We got the Tigers of Auburn at home with Georgia rolling in. Auburn laying 15.5. SMU home dogs against Cleveland. I mean, not Cleveland. Clemson. Clemson laying 1.5 in that one. Kansas versus Oklahoma State. Baylor versus #We Comin', Colorado. Virginia versus North Carolina. George Mason versus VCU. Duquesne, a.k.a. Duckanese, versus St. Bonnie's. Howard versus Morgan State. South Carolina State versus Delaware State. San Jose State versus Wyoming. Boston U versus American. Washington versus Iowa. Alcorn State versus Jackson State. UT Rio Grande versus Nichols. Long Island versus Lemoyne. Stonehill versus Central Connecticut. Portland versus Weber, however you want to say it, State. East Washington versus North Arizona. Georgia Southern versus JMU. Hofstra, Delaware. Seattle versus Utah Valley. West Illinois, Little Rock. One Ho, Two Ho, Red Ho, Blue Ho. The Blue Hos of Presbyterian versus Radford. Norfolk State versus Coppin. Florida A&M, Alabama State. UMass Lowell, Vermont. East Texas A&M, SE Louisiana. Lamar Jackson versus Houston Christian. Coastal Carolina Troy. Eastern Michigan, North Illinois. Lindenwood versus SE Missouri. We got Lehigh versus Lafayette. Bethune versus Alabama A&M. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, McNeese. UC Riverside, Cal Poly. UC Mike Davis, CSU Northridge. Oregon State, San Diego. UTEP, Jack State. New Mexico State, Kennesaw. Southern versus Grambling. Pine Bluff, the Abe Simpson versus PV. Southern Alabama versus Texas State is where we will stop right before 6 Eastern. Pretty big slot, man. A lot of the low-key teams in this slot, man. I'm taking SMU against Clemson. SMU, man, goddamn, bro. Y'all ain't moved to the ACC just to lose in the big games, man. Y'all need a big statement win, and I think it comes today at home. They're not great. SMU, they're not bad. They're just a solid team. And I think solid team at home beats a decent team in Clemson. That's how I got that one shaping out. I'm on SMU, like the spot for them at home. Getting about, kind of do your line shopping. You might be able to get plus money. Then again, you might not. So just kind of do your line shopping. If you can get plus money, attack that plus money with SMU. If not, just grab a 1.5. I'm on St. Bonnie's versus Duquesne. St. Bonnie's is just a better basketball team. Duquesne, they're not. They're in that same bucket as NC State. They're not the same team from last year. Wave a white flag. They're done. Stick a fork in them. They're cooked. St. Bonnie's is kind of overrated and overvalued in certain spots. But like I say a lot, overrated and overvalued teams do win in certain spots and situations to justify why they're overrated and overvalued. And I kind of got a feeling like that about St. Bonnie's today. Huge slot, but I'm not overly in love with it, y'all. Man, anything else that pops off the page to me? No, not really. Brad, anything here for you?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to the other side. I'm going to take Clemson. I've been on the SMU train all season long, but I think this is a tough one for them. I think Clemson's one of the best teams in the ACC, second best, third best team in the ACC. And SMU, they have had an easy road so far. I mean, you see some of the wins they've picked up are more on the side of the bottom tier ACC teams, and then we see them lose to Louisville, Duke, some of the better ACC teams. And I feel like it's going to be another situation like that today. So love SMU. I just don't think they're really battle tested, and the times where they've had to play tough opponents, they've kind of fell flat. So I'll take a shot with Clemson there. Let's see. Kansas, Oklahoma State. I'm going to take a shot with the under. It's at 149.5. I don't think a total should be over, 145 in a Kansas game. They have one of the best defenses in the country. They play in a lot of low-scoring games, use a lot of shot clock. Oklahoma State, don't get me wrong, their defense is dog shit, which is why I think this total is so high. But I think Kansas limits Oklahoma State so much from a scoring perspective that I just don't see it get it to that 150 mark. Give me a Washington plus 6.5. Iowa State's not good. I could see Washington winning this one outright. They just don't play a lick of defense. So I think this is just going to be a back-and-forth game. It's going to be close like a lot of these Iowa State games. And in that game, I'd rather have 6.5. Let's see. Anything else here? I'll take a shot with Southern, too. I mean, they're the best team in this conference. The line tells you take Grambling, but Southern's much better. I feel comfortable laying that short number. And that's going to do it.
Yeah, I'll start off with Washington. I'm on the Huskies. It's just a pure fade of the Hawkeyes. They're having, one of their worst seasons in quite some time. They're 14-12, which isn't, they're a little bit over 500, but this program used to be better than that. So now they're bottom half of a Big Ten type of team. So I'm just gonna fade them till further notice. If you've been fading them, you've been profitable. Last chance for Baylor, as far as I'm concerned. this is a spot where they should get the job done. They're kind of in the desperation spot. But here's the thing. They're facing a Buffalo's team who they've been covering all of a sudden. They've covered their last 4. So do you want to get in front of that train? I don't know that, home dog situation, they might rise to the occasion. Who knows? But as far as I'm concerned, I'll lean Baylor. I am on Georgia Southern against James Madison. James Madison beat up on Georgia State last game by 20. Meanwhile, Georgia Southern, they got it done in their game. Last game, I just think you're dealing with a Georgia Southern team who they're kind of coming along. As of late, they're only 3-2 straight up in their last 5, but they've been hanging in there. So you give me these points, I'm gonna take the points when they're involved, because if they're losing, they're not losing by much. So Georgia Southern would be the play for me. I'm on Vermont. This is the American East darling. They've run roughshod over this conference for a long time, and it's right before the conference tournaments, and they're playing their best basketball right now. 5-0 straight up in against the spread. So don't fade them, just lay it with them. And I'm on SEMO. I'm on Southeast Missouri. I know this is a big number, but this is another team. They've been, just doing whatever they want in the Ohio Valley. Just winning and covering a whole bunch of games. They're on a 5-game cover streak, 8-game winning streak. It's hard to go against them. I don't think Lindenwood has much of a chance. Even though they have won 3 straight. But I'm on SEMO till further notice.
There we go. Next slot starts with some monsters. We got Florida versus LSU. Florida laying 9.5. We got Kentucky out on the road versus Alabama. Alabama laying 11.5. Miami favorites laying 2.5 over Virginia Tech. Sharp Chaser special. Do they get it done? The Romanellis, a.k.a. UMass versus G-Dub, George Washington. Bradley versus Murray State, no John Morant. Indiana State versus Belmont. Boise State versus Find My Heart Lost Somewhere in Nevada. Mississippi Valley State versus Texas Southern. Cornell versus Brown. Harvard versus Penn. Northwestern State versus New Orleans. Stephen F. Austin versus Word Up. Incarnate Word. Santa Clara versus Washington State, a.k.a. Wazoo. Zip. The Zips of Akron versus Ohio. Zips laying 2.5 on the road. Valpo versus the Salukis. Salukis laying 6.5. And now in Columbia versus Yale. New Hampshire versus Albany. Georgia State versus Old Dominion. William and Mary versus Elon Musk and the Teslas. Santa Barbara versus What Up Beaches? Long Beach State, man, getting 7.5 at home. Portland versus Pacific. The Eggs of Utah Tech versus Abilene Christian. Is where we will stop, and then we'll do that last slot all in one.
What time is that last slot?
I stopped at
Is it 8?
Yeah, right, 8 Eastern.
Okay, cool.
I think 6 and 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Am I up for this one?
Yes, sir, you are.
All righty. I'm actually going to take a shot here with Miami. I mean, Virginia Tech in that last game against Boston College, they put up 36 points in that game, and they only put up 11 points in the first half. I mean, I don't know how you do that against Boston College. I think Virginia Tech's just done for, honestly. And Miami's starting to play some better basketball. So I'll take a shot there, laying the short number at home. Let's see. I think Kentucky, Bama. I do lean Bama, but I think it's one of those games you just close your eyes and take the over. I mean, I think both teams will get close to 100 points in this game. We look at, some of these teams' prior games, it looks like NBA scores. So I think that's going to be a fast-paced, high-scoring one. So I like the over there. Let's see. I'll take a shot with Florida against LSU. I just think the talent difference there is major. And I think Florida, it'll probably be close at half, but at some point they'll run away with that one and get a double-digit win. I like Nevada laying the point. Boise State coming off a massive win against New Mexico. Classic letdown spot. Line tells you everything you need to know. Nevada, definitely they haven't had the best season so far, but I think this is a spot where they get a win and cover.
I agree with a lot of what you said in this slide. I like Miami, sharp chaser, special style game. Line tells me what I need to know there. Gotta bet it. I like what you said on that over against Alabama and Kentucky. That's a game I don't even want to bet overall from a side perspective. It would be Alabama or pass. It also wouldn't shock me if Alabama won by 10. So it's just a game I just don't want to really touch from a side perspective, but I could put a couple bucks on and over in that game and just, pray that they just go back and forth from a scoring perspective. I like Nevada. I like what you said about that one as well. Line, tell me what I need to know there. Let me see. Zip. Come on, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Them zips.
I forgot about the Zips.
Them zip,
No,
man.
Zips today.
You can't go against the Zips, man. Unless we have a clear, concise reason to do so, I can't do it. Ohio is a solid little team. They have been playing better basketball of recent, but I still don't think it's enough to take down the Zips, and that's basically what you need them to do with this line. And I don't think they got enough to do it. So give me the Zips. Santa Barbara probably takes the Beaches behind the woodshed. It just is what it is. The Beaches having a down season, man. This team's terrible. It is what it is. Santa Barbara, what they do? Last time they played, it was 85-54. I think they probably blow them out again. I'm on Santa Barbara in that one. I think I was on the Beaches in that game. Honestly, I think I was. And it wasn't a premium or anything, but I think I had put a couple bucks on it one night or that day. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I was. This time I ain't gonna fall for it. I'm on Santa Barbara. I'll lay whatever with Texas Southern on Mississippi Valley State. Just lay whatever. Their ass.
So bad.
So bad. 24.5 is a lot. A lumber to lay with Texas Southern, but I think they do it. So that's what I like in this slot.
Yeah, I'm on Bradley. Just a situation where they're coming off the loss versus Illinois State. Think they bounced back in a major way against Murray State, who I'm not impressed with at all. I'm gonna roll with Ohio. I'm going against the Akron Zips. It's just a situation where they've been doing a little bit too much winning. I think it's high time for them to catch a loss. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But this Ohio team, they'll put in some work at home. 2.5. I think it'll be a 2-point game at the very least. One of those classic MAC conference nail biters. So I want to be on the side where I'm catching the points in that one. I'm on Illinois State. This is a team. Hold on, let me see something. Skip that one. I'm on Nevada. I'm on the Wolfpack against Boise State. Boise State got a big win in their last game, but I think I think it's a situation where they step up. Well, the last game they stepped up, and this is Nevada's time to step up in kind. Basically a must-win type of situation for them. They're 15-11. They're having a disappointing season. But it's the Mountain West. There's a lot of quality teams in that conference. They all been beating each other up. And watching them play, they do have some talent on that team. So, Boise State has some talent on that team, but they're really dependent on that one guy, Dagart. If they could contain him, I think this is gonna be a pretty comfortable win by Nevada. These Mountain West teams just tend to beat each other up in the home team, and a lot of these spots get the job done. And I am on, I'm on Illinois State. This is a Missouri State spot, but they're not to be trusted as far as I'm concerned. They are 15-11 against the spread overall this season, but Illinois State, the Redbirds, is just the better team in my opinion. And with this being at 3 points, I'd rather have my money on the road fave.
There we go. On to the last slot of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We got last slot of the day in college hoops, I should say. We have Duke versus Illinois. Duke laying 9. Arkansas versus Missouri. Illinois State versus Missouri State. San Diego State versus Utah State. Dartmouth versus Princeton. Sacramento State versus Idaho State. Idaho versus North Colorado. Butler versus DePaul. ULL versus Southern Miss. St. Mary's versus the Zags. Tarleton versus UT Arlington. The Lopes of Grand Canyon versus Cal Baptist. Oral Roberts versus St. Thomas. Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech. South Dakota versus Omaha. Texas versus South Carolina. SIUE versus Southern Indiana. Montana versus Montana State. They both battling that. Pepperdine versus LMU. UC Irvine versus Bakersfield. BYU versus Arizona. Colorado State, UNLV. Cal versus Stanford. And last game of the night, UC San Diego versus Hawaii. I think I messed up the order the last time through.
I think you'd be up next, though.
Huh?
Or actually, I think it would be Jovan, actually, because I went first last time.
Jovan, you can close this out, my man.
Let's start off with, let's see here. We're gonna start off with St. Mary's. I know that a lot of people are gonna be hammering Gonzaga, with the thoughts that no way they can get swept by St. Mary's. But the fact of the matter is St. Mary's the better team this season. It's been a long time since Gonzaga hasn't been on the top of the food chain, in this conference. But, they're having a down season by their standards. I mean, and they're 21-7, but they haven't been covering the spread. And I'm not saying that they're going to lose anything like that, but I don't want to lay 6.5 points with them. That's really the long and the short of it. This St. Mary's team, they're a fundamentally sound team, and they do have a little more athleticism than they have had in years past. So I think that's been the difference with this team this season. So I'll be on that underdog wholeheartedly. I am on South Carolina. Look, I'm basically just playing a desperation spot. They're scraping and scrambling for a win. They haven't won an SEC play, and here come the Longhorns. So I think the time is right for them to get a dub. It's really that simple. I'll take a shot with BYU. Good shooting team, especially from Brown Arc. Going into Tucson. Not to say it's gonna be an outright, but if you see them hitting their shots in the first 5 minutes, you might want to put a little sun on the money line. Just saying. So it'll be BYU plus the points with the prospect of putting a slice on the money line. And we'll end off the night with UNLV, just because I think that Colorado State's a bunch of frauds.
Fair enough. I don't want to do it, but I like BYU plus the points today against Arizona. Just a gut feeling. I don't even have a great reason on why I like it. I just do. So I'm just telling y'all. Montana State not beating Montana today. It's not happening. I'm on Montana. South Carolina not beating Texas. It's not happening. I'm on Texas. And I don't bet Texas often. Texas is overrated, overvalued, but they're not losing to South Carolina. They're not. Can South Carolina cover? Maybe, but do they win? Hell no. DePaul ain't doing nothing today either. I'm on Butler. Come on, man. Let's just some things they just not that complicated, and I just don't want to overcomplicate them. I'm on Butler. Illinois might cover today against Duke. Might not overly in love with that game, but I think fading Duke right now, you'll be kind of okay because they're overrated, overvalued. Really good team, but I don't know. I still think they're gonna be. I don't know. I don't want to talk too crazy right now, Duke, but I don't think they're as good as people think quite yet. They're good. I don't know if they gonna do the whole damn thing.
They're good.
They're good. I don't know if they gonna do the whole damn thing though. I don't know. I don't want to hate on them too bad right now. And then y'all know where I'm at, man.
Sorry, boys.
Them Calipari boys, man. Them Calipari boys. They getting it done today, man. They are getting it done. I like how they played over the last month or so. And off back-to-back tough L's at home today. I think they knock off Missouri. Missouri coming off that huge win over Alabama. Typical flat spot. I think it's just storms coming together. I'm on the Calipari boys, man. I think they win the game outright. Brett?
Yeah, Illinois Duke. I'm not thinking it. Give me the Blue Devils. I'm honestly Illinois. I just don't think they're that good. It's as simple as that. Every time they've played someone good, they haven't looked great. They lost twice to Michigan State. Got blown out by Wisconsin. Lost to Rutgers by 9. Lost to Nebraska. I just don't think this team's that good. And Duke, everyone's talking about Auburn being the best team in the country. It might just be Duke. It might just be Duke. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really liking how this team's looking. So a game at MSG. I think it's a Cooper Flag showing out party. I think they get a double-digit win there. Give me St. Mary's. I've been on the St. Mary's train heavy this season. I think they're one of the most disrespected teams in the whole country. The fact that they're not ranked is ridiculous. I mean, they're 24-4 straight up. I know the West Coast Conference isn't the deepest or toughest conference, but St. Mary's is good. This team's going to be a problem in the tournament. Let's see. I like the spot for Arkansas. It scares me a little bit, but I do like the spot for Arkansas. Like Jay said, definitely a flat spot for Missouri after picking up that massive win against Bama. And then I'm jumping on the UC San Diego train. I hope I'm not too late. Ruffalo's been telling us about this team for ages now. I mean, they're 20-5 ATS this season. I think they're like 9-1 ATS in their last 10. This team's disgusting. So I hope I'm not too late. We're going to have to lay 16 points with them, which is a ton, but I'm hopping on the train. I can't keep seeing Ruffalo just win money with this team over and over again and just miss out on it. So give me UC San Diego, lay the big number.
Fair enough. That's it. That's all, ladies and gentlemen, for college hoops. Let's skate on over to the ice, man. Let's talk about some NHL action. It's back. Everybody feeling good off the Four Nations face-off. We'll do it all.
It's crazy that they did that tournament, like that big emotional game, especially for the U.S. and Canada players, and now they just have to jump right back into the season.
Now they got to jump right back into it, man.
Like, that's tough. Just a couple days off, and it's like, all right, we're back.
The Red Wings and the Wild battling it out. We got the Flyers and the Oilers, the Penguins and the Capitals, the Sabres and the Rangers, the Kraken and the Panthers, the Dallas Stars versus the Devils, the Avalanche versus the Predators, them Ducks at plus money against them Bruins, the Hurricanes versus the Maple Leafs, Canadiens versus the Senators, Blackhawks versus the Blue Jackets, the Jets versus the Blues, Hockey Club versus the Kings, and the Canucks versus the Golden Knights. Brad?
Yeah, you know what we have to do? We got to fade the Preds, take the Avs here. It's as simple as that. And then I'll take the Jets. Jets are on one of these hot streaks. We've seen this Jets team just go on these crazy hot streaks throughout the season. And when they're hot, you rather take them than fade them. So I'll take the Winnipeg Jets as well.
I'm gonna go the other way in that one. I'm gonna take the Blues. I like the
You're
Blues.
always fading the Jets.
I always fade the Jets, and I love betting the Blues at plus money at home. So it's just two storms coming together. Off the break, I think it's a good spot to fade the Jets. I think they cool off a bit. So you know me, I just like fading them. I also love riding with them Ducks plus money with Anaheim. Sign me up. We were so hot heading into the break, man. We were so fucking hot on them Ducks heading into the break. I'm a little nervous, but in that same breath, man, how can we pass up the plus money with the team that been making us money in hockey, man? I love the Ducks. Let's get it done, Anaheim. The Bruins, they're ass. They're not good. They're overrated, overvalued tremendously. I'm with you on the Avs. We're continuing to fade the Preds. The Preds, the most overrated, overvalued team I've ever seen in my life. I'm on the Stars, and that's it. And that's it for me in hockey today.
NBA time.
NBA time, man. National Basketball Association. Small card over there today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games on the card. We got the Phoenix Suns laying 5.5 points on your Chicago Bulls. And we have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. Philadelphia laying 11.5 in this one. Jovan, man, how you feeling in these first 2 games in the NBA?
We'll look towards the Phoenix Suns and Chicago Bulls game. There's no way in hell that I'm gonna be laying anything close to this number in any situation with this with the Phoenix Suns. It's really that simple. You know, they're on the road. You know, I don't care if they're facing the Bulls. You know, the Bulls had a good showing their last game against the Knicks. And, you know, it's just a simple situation. You know, you're dealing with a Suns team who's 19-35-1 against the spread this season. Not only that, you look at this team, they need a point guard. You know, you watch them turn over the ball at a moment's notice. You know, Devin Booker, he's no point guard. He can't handle the rock like that. You know, I'd rather have Kevin Durant handling the rock than him. You know, Bradley Beal, is he on the court? If he is on the court, he's not a point guard neither. You know, this is just a team who needed to be blown up a long time ago. And, you know, unfortunately for them, they're a middling team who, you know, they might make the playoffs, but, you know, I would rather play in, but they won't get far. So I'll be fading them every chance I get in these type of situations.
Word for word, bar for bar, nothing really to add, man. Suns, hot ass. The worst ATS team in the NBA this season. The thing is, they were just as bad last season, so it's just who they are. We've been blindly fading this team, cashing at a 65% clip. Why stop now? He told y'all 19-35-1. Continuing to fade them. The thing is, we go to the other game. There's a team nearly as bad. And it's this Philadelphia 76ers team. They're 19-34-2 ATS. And there's no way in hell I'm laying 11.5 with them either. Brooklyn has been a solid ATS team full season. They're actually a much better ATS team on the road than they are at home. These two teams got the exact same record. It's just the truth of the matter. No way I can lay 11.5 with Philadelphia. Just don't like the spot, don't like the situation, don't like nothing. Give me Brooklyn plus the points in that one. Brett?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said everything you need to say about both these teams, the Suns and the Sixers. Can't take the Suns. Like Jay said, worst cover team in the league. Bulls actually looked good in their last game against the Knicks. I think they took them to overtime. So who knows how this Bulls team will look in the second half of the season. So I'll take the 5 points there with them at home. And then, just can't take the Sixers. I got cute and took the Sixers last game against the Celtics. That did not pay off for me. So I'm not doing it again. I'm not making the same mistake. I like this Brooklyn team. They've been a nice little cover team all season long. You got to pick and choose your spots with them, but double-digit spread facing the Sixers team that like both these guys said, I've just been overrated all season long. Got to take the points here.
Man. We'll do this one by itself, man. Good game. Good game. Got the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers. 6.5-point road dogs heading to Denver. Denver kind of has cut it on, man. Ball Arena, Brad.
Yes, sir. I'll meet you there.
The Nuggets have won, 9 straight? I'm on the Lakers.
Damn.
I'm on the Lakers plus the points. I'm also going to sprinkle money line. Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night.
Luke is going to look himself.
Tonight's the night. Tonight's the one. Tonight's the one. Everybody been waiting to see them 40-foot step back bombs. Everybody been waiting to see that get to the rack foul. And what? I'm on them Lakers tonight. That's all I'm saying, man. I think tonight's the night Luka shows up. It reminds people who the fuck he is. That's just my thoughts. So I'm on the Lakers in this one. I know the history here. I don't like fading Denver in Denver often. I think I've probably done it like twice in the last 4 seasons. I have to have a clear, concise reason to do so. And I think tonight I have a clear one because I think Luka turns up. So that's why I'm there. Brett?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Nuggets here. I know it's a lot of points, but I mean these teams, the last 10 times these teams played against each other, and the Nuggets have won 9 of them. They just dominated the Lakers. Like you said, the Nuggets and Denver are a different story. 20-8 straight up. The Lakers coming off that. They're coming off that win against Portland, but didn't look good in that game against Charlotte. I know they were fresh off the All-Star break, so kind of a weird spot there. But I don't know. I just feel like this Nuggets team is just on a roll right now, and I'd rather take them and fade them at this point. So probably going to be a close game, but I think by the end of it, similar to that Charlotte game, Denver's going to run away with it and get a cover as well. So give me the Nuggets.
That's been the history of this one. I think over the last 10 matchups, the Lakers have been leading in a minutes perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not even funny. But every single game, like even in that postseason series they had, the Lakers led the entire game. And then fourth quarter, here come the Nuggets.
Yep.
That's how it's been between these two. But it's a little different Lakers team without Anthony Davis there. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Who's going to stop Jokic tonight?
I know. I'm a little worried about it too.
And Jamal put up 34 last game, and then the game before that, I think he had 55. So it's looking like playoff Jamal right now, which we all know how that is.
I know we do. Yeah. We also know how that Don can be when he gets out.
I know what you're saying. I'm waiting for him to come alive. I am.
I think tonight's the night. I do. Javon, you got any thoughts here?
The tiebreaker.
Yeah, we're not gonna look at the side on this one. We're gonna go to the. I was gonna say under, but I can't do it. Not with the way that Denver likes to go up and down the go up and down the court, and the fact that they don't like to play defense. So they're basically just trying to outscore teams. It's kind of reminding me of the Nuggets teams from the '80s. With Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English, and all those guys, putting up major amounts of points, but they've been doing it, and they've been beating up on teams, and I think that the Lakers, they need to keep pace if they wanna win this one. So I think this could go over the total.
Last slide of the day. We got the Houston Rockets laying 8.5 on the Utah Jazz. We got the Portland Trailblazers laying 4.5 on the Charlotte Hornets. Brad, how you feeling?
Yeah, a lean towards the Rockets. Also the under. I mean, the Jazz at home this season, can't trust them. Liked how the Rockets looked last night. I'm looking to bet this team again in the second half of the season. Yes, they would look terrible in the beginning of February, the end of January, but we can't forget about how much cash this Rockets team has made us. So I'm back on the train. I'll take them again today. Portland, Charlotte. I like the under. The under has been money in Charlotte games this season. If I see a total in the Charlotte game over 220, I just immediately click the under button, honestly. Portland, yes, they have been in some higher scoring games throughout this season, but I think Charlotte is able to slow things down, use a lot of shot clock, how they like to play basketball, and this thing goes under.
Javon?
Yeah, I mean, I can only agree with Brad on that under. Last 5 meetings, all going under, all stayed under the total. And based on how these teams like to play, I could do nothing else but take under the total. Even though, last game with Charlotte when they played Denver, it did go over the total, but that's just a testament to, how Denver likes to play. So, styles make fights, and with these two teams, it's going to be an under show.
I'm on the Rockets. They showed me a little something last night. Fred VanVleet game time decision tonight as well. I really hope he's back in the lineup. I really hope he's back. That's what they need. That's what they need to be back to the Rockets. We know. We know what it is with Utah this season. The Utah from last season at home, they're long gone. And you can't trust them at home this season. The Rockets, you've been able to trust them on the road for the most part. I know they've been going through this little funky patch right there before the break, but overall, remember, they were for most of the season the number one road team in the league. Right now, they are, 4? They're still 17, 10, and 1, covering in 63% of their road games this season. And that's even despite that terrible run they had heading into the break. So, like how they looked last night, both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Don't trust Utah whatsoever. Lean towards the Rockets in that one. And then the Blazers, I'm on them as well. I made a lot of money with the Blazers right before the break when they were in that little homestand. And I think tonight they kind of returned back to that. The Lakers needed that win in that last one. So they kind of just lost to the better team. But tonight I think the Blazers are the better team. Am I over in love with it? Like, oh my God, we got to bet it? No. But I do like it. So give me the Blazers. It's kind of one I'd rather be there than not be there, because when it cashes, I'm going to be like, why did I not bet that fucking game? So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm going to just put a couple bucks on the Portland Trail Blazers. But that's it. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we made it. We made it to the end of the day. Money making Saturday. Brad, I know you got some games you absolutely loving today. What you got over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. Love today's slate. Got 7 plays total. So I got a 7-pack if you want everything. But my $19 pick of the day, we've hit on that in 4 straight days. We're starting to heat up with that pick. And I got another one I love today. So go check that out. Hop on something long-term. Team me up with either Jovan or Jay. We're going to cash it today.
Hop on with Brad, man. Make you some money today. Jovan, what you got going?
Yeah, it's Saturday, so I got a lot of plays that per usual. This time around, I got 23 college basketball plays up on the board. Starting off at 12 o'clock, got a 5-pack there. Got another 5-pack for the 2 o'clock time slot. Got a 3-pack for the 3 o'clock time slot. Really loving these plays. I got another 5-pack for the late afternoon. That's 4 to 6. And then for the rest of the night, I got another 5-pack. So, and I will have an NBA play up on the board. At least one, most likely one on the board. And I will have some standalone action for some of the later games in college basketball. So, yeah, a lot to sink your teeth into on this side. So jump on something long term.
Yes, sir, man. Hop on with Jovan. Make today a winning day. I got 5 college hoops plays today, including my $19 college hoops best bet. We've hit 6 of 7 on that play. And we cashed again last night with the Villanova Wildcats. So looking to make it 7 of 8 on that college hoops best bet. Kind of heating up in college hoops, man. Looking to keep it rolling. And then, of course, I have an NBA player of the day. It's not up yet, but it'll be up here momentarily. I will have 2 or 3 plays in the NBA today, 2 or 3. So you can scoop them up over at Pick Dogs Premium, man. So all in all, I'll have 7 or 8 plays today total as well. So money making Saturday, looking to do some damage, looking to keep the momentum rolling forward. Hop on that Pick Dogs and let's do the damn thing. Y'all know what time it is now, man. Parlay time. Parlay. Brad, what you got for me?
Yep, rolling with a little ACC 2-teamer here. Miami minus the 2. Clemson money line.
I got both Mr. 2-teamers with me today. Javon, what you got?
Yeah, so a couple 2-teamers and a 3-teamer and a 4-teamer. So start off with this 2-teamer, which is Nevada Wolfpack and Ohio Bobcats. Then we have the SEC 2-teamer, Alabama Crimson Tide, Florida Gators. Then we got a 3-teamer, the Bradley Braves, SEMO, and Vermont Catamounts. And then we got the 4-teamer, and you could play this money line or with the points because they're all underdogs. South Carolina, St. Mary's, BYU, UNLV.
I'm gonna go with let's just not overcomplicate this parlay. Give me Texas. Give me Butler. Give me Brooklyn. 3-teamer. We'll just keep it simple. Brooklyn, little 3-teamer. It's not overcomplicated 3-teamer. So I'm gonna call it. Money Making Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all that continue to tune in and watch these shows, watch these episodes. We'll be back same time, same programming tomorrow. Solid NBA card tomorrow. How many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games tomorrow in the NBA. Whew. Got some work to do tonight.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, you feel me? And then I think it's still a solid college hoops card tomorrow, too. We got St. John's versus UConn to start today, so pretty good game to start today. And we got like Rutgers, USC, Creighton, Georgetown. So, some good games tomorrow as well in college hoops. The Gottlieb's back in action. They facing the Youngstown State, so always some money to be made there as well. Hockey got some games tomorrow too, so we'll be back same time, same programming. We'll see y'all then. Not sure who all will be here, but people will be here. I will. And we'll break it all down and help you, ladies and gentlemen, make some money. See y'all then. We out of here. Peace.